Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Grass10 grazing management update on the dairy edge. My name is Niamh Doyle and I'm working on the Grass10 team based in the east of the country. The PastureBase Ireland data for the week is average farm cover 618 kilos of dry matter per hectare. Cover per livestock unit is running at 177 kilos of dry matter per livestock unit. Growth rates for the last 7 days has reduced to 51 kilos of dry matter per hectare. Demand is 50 kilos of dry matter per hectare. Pre-grazing yield was 1,475 kilos of dry matter per hectare. And the diet is changed to 14 kilos of grass, 4 kilos of meal and 1 kilo of silage. Dry matter percentages recorded for the week are 19.5% in Athenry, County Galway, 16.5% in Oak Park, County Carlow, 17% in Moore Park, County Cork, 21% in Grange, County Meath, and 18% in Johnstown, County Wexford. Grass growth predictions are quite variable for the week ahead, with low to high 50s expected throughout the country. Predicted rainfall is low, with only 4 to 8 mil expected for large parts of the country. Soil temperatures are to increase to between 13 and 15 degrees. Your Grass10 tips for the week. It is important to get out and walk the farm as growth rates have been lower than average due to cooler northerly wind. Growth rates are back this week to 51 kilos of dry matter per hectare. This has led to some farms introducing supplement to hold rotation at 20 to 21 days. Fortunately, warmer weather is forecast this week with occasional showers according to Met Éireann. This warmer weather should hopefully see grass growth rates improve. Continue to walk the farm every 5 days and reduce supplement if possible. PastureBase Ireland data shows milk solids per cow to be behind target, even though meal feeding rates are high. Ensure pasture dry matter intake and quality are on target. At this time of year, herd dry matter intakes should be between 18 to 18.5 kilos of dry matter per cow. Some tips to increase your average farm cover. Bring your grass demand down to match your farm grass growth, with keeping an eye on how regrowths are progressing. So for example, a 3.5 stocking rate with 14 kilos of pasture, 3 kilos of meal, 2 kilos of bale silage will give a demand of 50 kilos of dry matter per hectare per day. Other options include the introduction of more grazing area or the introduction of high quality silage, 3 to 4 kilos of silage per cow per day in combination with concentrates. Increasing concentration supplementation alone will not be sufficient to increase rotation length. Teagasc Grass10 and Clover 150 teams, along with Teagasc Joint Programme Advisors and the Teagasc Local Advisory Team, kicked off the Clover workshops last week. We would like to thank all advisors and farmers involved in these workshops. Topics to be discussed include successful management of clover reseeds, nutrient management of clover swards, and general grazing advice in what has been a difficult year so far. See the flyer in this week's Grass10 newsletter to attend a workshop in your area. With poor growing conditions, it is important to review your clover paddocks to decide on nitrogen application strategy. Clover content should be 20% or higher before considering a significant reduction in nitrogen input. Remember to input your clover content scores into PastureBase Ireland when completing your grass walk. For guidance on clover content scoring, see the clover content scorecard in this week's Grass10 newsletter. This week's featured farmer is John Phelan, who is milking 215 cows in Kilmeaden, County Waterford. John's average farm cover is 613 kilos of dry matter per hectare. His cover per livestock unit is 154 kilos of dry matter per hectare, and his growth is 57 kilos of dry matter per hectare per day. His cows are milking 23 litres, his fat is 4.45 and his protein is 3.83. Similar to other farmers, John is noting that grass is getting tight on the farm with cool northerly wind. If growth doesn't increase in the next few days, he will be introducing 3 to 4 kilos of silage to hold his rotation at 19 days. From now on, John's high clover paddocks will receive 10 units of nitrogen per acre after grazing. His grass only and low clover paddocks will continue to receive 19 ewes per acre after grazing. John received a paddock on the 20th of April. This paddock will be grazed this week and receive 1 bag of 18612. It will be sprayed for weeds with a clover safe spray post-grazing. And lastly, we will be hosting a farm walk next Friday to 28th June at 11 a.m. on the farm of Patrick O'Neill in County Longford. Patrick is the Teagasc Grass10 Sustainable Farmer of the Year, overall and dairy category winner for 2023. If you would like to hear more from the Grass10 team, subscribe to the weekly Grass10 newsletter, which is available on the Grass10 page on the Teagasc public website, and the link to the newsletter is also available in the description of this podcast. This has been your Grass10 update, and I will talk to you all next week.